Hello and welcome to another edition of ProtoMet's First Impressions, where I give my thoughts on the first episode of any new tokusatsu show. Tank is here for some reason.
Hi, hey guys, ProtoMet literally invited me over to watch Ultraman Blazar.
So that's what we're talking about today.
I enjoyed the first episode.
Oh, it was good.
Very good.
Starts off with a crack team of soldiers going in to deal with a monster threat.
They're pretty much this series, I guess, defense force, but they seem a little bit more military based compared to the other ones we have witnessed.
If I were going off of the trailers, I would assume that this is like just the defense force and not the specialized defense force that we would usually see.
Yeah.
So this would be before the defense team is properly formed. Scarred, I think they're called.
Scarred.
Yeah.
Steam.
But no, we are introduced to our characters. I don't think we really get too much in the way of actual development for the characters.
No, besides a transformation by one of them.
Yeah, we get Captain Genta,
yes,
who is obviously the lead character because he's voiced by Johnny Young Bosch.
As you would be the lead character if you were voiced by Johnny L. Bosch.
This is the first Ultraman series to be simulcast with an English dub.
And I was surprised that it was going to be an English dub. I thought I was going to have to do some reading today.
They did recently do a dub of Ultraman Z, which is worth checking out. They also
I approve. I have not completely finished it, but what I've seen is quite good of that one as well.
And they did also recently start doing a simul dub of the side series Ultraman Regulos, which was also they're experimenting with being able to actually have both Japanese and English languages in the single video.
So simple enough. I think they're trying to get like out of their Blu-ray releases to have. You can have the English dub or the Japanese dub.
At least that's what I'm hoping.
Because I wouldn't mind that.
But clearly they are trying to appeal to more than just the Japanese demographic. I mean, with the recent Mill Creek push to have the Blu-rays out here in the U.S.
Oh yeah.
Clearly.
And they're still pushing a decent amount of them out.
I think right now the only one that's upcoming is a clipped deep Blu-ray for like Red King. Nothing for like the new shows. They've kind of exhausted most of what they had, but we're off track.
Hopefully they push out some more.
Yes, the defense force is trying to deal with a kaiju. And we get some nice, almost Birdman style gliding, but with like
kind of he's
handheld jetpacks.
Yeah, just like kind of slightly reminded me of like one in the Monster versus Godzilla, where they just kind of shoot out, but this time it's kind of like in this motion. But then they look like they're about to dive bomb, but they got the control to get them back upright. That was pretty cool.
I also did like how this episode basically starts pretty much in the thick of it, instead of everything was peaceful and normal and then monsters showed up.
No, shit hit the fan really damn quick.
Like, clearly they have dealt with monsters before in the past.
But this one seemed to be a wee bit tougher than, I guess, their ones in the past.
Let's see, Captain Genta goes off to rescue one of his soldiers who got separated from the others.
Well, before he does that, he talks to the pilots of the two fighter planes that are going around trying to shoot out the kaiju that's not really giving them like a good effect on it anyway.
They're trying to distract it so that so Captain Genta's strike team can
actually shoot like huge missiles from like a bazooka at it.
I do like how we get like a moment where Genta is basically using some precognitive powers to kind of determine what the next action is, because he goes through like 3 possibilities of like just shooting it with their guns, using a bazooka, and then just him going off with the handheld rockets.
Yep.
to do whatever he does.
I told him mid-watching the episode, because it was like, is he having a flashback, or is he seeing into the future? He can see into the future! I'm sorry, I had to. I couldn't help it.
That was perfect.
Okay, so he decides to tell his team that he'll go by himself. So he grabs his little jetpacks, literally simply just flies right past the kaiju because, well...
And he's not doing this to grandstand. He tells his team to wait for his signal
to fire. He finds the other team that has been... Well, the monster kind of got to them already, so where they were hiding out to get ready to attack the kaiju.
I think the other team of ground forces had arrived a little too early and started attacking before the other team was ready. So that might be what happened.
So he gets there, he finds the captain of that squad, and he's dang near dead, but...
He's out.
Yep. So he grabs the bazooka, and he tries to fire one shot at it, and it hits it, but it doesn't really do that much damage because I think that bazooka was slightly damaged.
I like how the monster Bazanga had these needle launchers on its arms that shot out flare rounds.
Yeah.
That had timed explosives. That was a cool visual.
It's like choom choom. And there's one point where it kind of jams on him.
Yeah, at one point he runs out of ammo.
Then he just starts swinging.
That's a little later, though.
Yeah, that's fun. It's a funny scene.
But Bazanga knocks a building over, and just as it's about to crush them,
a transforming device shows up on Commander Genta's wrist, and he notices a coin. And
it just kind of gets pulled in to put it into the thing.
Exactly. This was he was like, oh, "You're the guy."
it was a nice touch to have the transformation device force the user. To kind of teach it how to use it. Yeah. That was nice.
Then he turns into Ultraman Blazar,
who is simply referred to as Ultraman by the other characters.
Yes.
And it's explained by a side character that apparently astronauts had previously seen Ultraman, and it was kind of an urban legend. So them being able to see it now is practically a miracle.
See, how he kind of explained it in the episode was quite interesting too. So astronauts gave him the name Ultraman. So there's plenty of Ultramen out there. Well,
they don't refer to it specifically as Ultraman Blazar. I was just when I was mentioning it, I was more a bit critical of some other shows, say Ultraman Max or Ultraman Tiga, that would just be let's just call him Ultraman Tiga, and nobody's being well, why don't we just call him Ultraman?
Yeah, exactly.
But this one, everybody's just calling it Ultraman.
Yeah.
Instead of Ultraman Blazar. The Blazar will probably come up later.
Yeah. It is only the first episode.
Right. And what an episode. So once Blazar's on the scene, we get...
So, to explain the fighting style, martial arts and just craziness.
Just wild attacks.
Yeah.
It felt a bit like, say, Kamen Rider Amazon and Kamen Rider Super 1.
But those are good because
one's a wild man, the other's a martial artist.
Yep. Put them together, and exactly what Blazar was doing.
It was very nicely done. And I like the fact that the fight scene is basically half of the episode.
Yeah.
And unlike more recent seasons, we don't actually get the view inside of Ultraman's head where we get the lead actor sharing his thoughts and talking over everything. No, the entire fight scene is pretty much just growls and grunts. At one point, Blazar just shouts at the monster in response to the monster shouting at it.
I did
psych each other out.
I did tell him, I'm like, so is this thing a Pokemon? Because it kept saying the same thing over and over again. Well, it's a kaiju, it was roaring, but still.
Again, like half the episode is an excellent extended fight scene.
Oh, yes. Well, Blazar ends up getting the win by his hand making a black hole and
summoning an energy javelin.
And he spears the shit out of that thing.
Looks cool.
And by the way, he did, prior to that, he did rip one of the...
No, I think he ripped both of its needle launchers off of its arms. It was actually kind of bloody. Yep. Just like bright blue blood, but...
Well, it's understandable.
I was like, again, going back to Kamen Rider Amazon, that kind of level of bloody, just blue, so it's not offensive.
Yeah. The fight ends, you know, if you've ever seen any other like Ultra series, the fight ends, the monster is defeated, they just fly off. But he seems to fly off slow, then all of a sudden,
it's like a jet thruster. Like,
yeah. And then...
At one point during the fight, we do get introduced to this random lady with a bazooka who shoots at the monster.
That actually does a wee bit more damage to the...
I mean, clearly she's going to become a recurring character. But she's established as a mystery.
Oh, yes. Nothing wrong with mysteries. Okay, this episode ended on a cliffhanger because it
set up the mystery because after Blazar flew off, Genta just seems to recover from being knocked out. Because he's lying near the guy he protected as more soldiers come in the aftermath. So we're left with the mystery of, like, did he actually transform, or was that like an astral projection or out-of-body experience or something? Because you could kind of tell...
He had the transformation, like, item in the small, like,
the coin
in his hand, but he might have been able to, because apparently the user can see, like, the big transformation.
Well, that's an explanation that one of the seasons, I think Zet had for why nobody calls out this big toy thing.
Yeah.
Just dangling there.
Giant dual disc on their wrist.
It's like, oh, don't worry.
Oh, it's my huge watch.
Oh, I just need to tell the time. Why does it have like a bunch of flippers and stuff? Don't worry about it.
Clink, 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 clink.
No, he didn't have it on his arm. He just was looking at like the coin.
And he seemed to looked confused.
I did like one like right at the beginning of the transformation. He did kind of be like, "What the heck?"
Yep.
But without like without like us actually knowing his thoughts, it's like, oh, okay, I guess this is happening.
Yep.
And then in the aftermath, he's like, well, wonder what this is all about.
And then the episode ends.
Pretty damn good first episode.
Yeah. We didn't really get to... We got to know him a little bit, but not a whole lot. Something we haven't even... None of the side characters really... We didn't really get to know at all.
But I'm sure they'll get introduced as the series progresses. This one is really just kind of setting up how things work.
Yeah.
I did like Bazangas's design.
Yes.
Very pointy in places.
Kind of reminded me of Legion a little bit.
Yeah, kind of. From the Gamera series.
Yep.
Not the X-Men character.
Completely different. Oh shit. Yeah, I really enjoyed the first episode, and I'm kind of ready for the next one to come.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to it. More than I was looking forward to Decker, which turned out to be better than I expected.
Yeah, I'm still working on Decker, but it's been good so far.
Yeah, it was better than Trigger ended up being.
I haven't seen Trigger.
If I had to summarize Trigger, it was Tsuburai's attempt to remake Tiga, but without actually acknowledging Tiga existed outside of the title. There's like a whole story that can go behind that, but that's not what we're here to talk about.
Yeah, so I give Ultraman Blazar a thumbs up.
I give it 7 thumbs up. No, check it out. It's pretty good.
Yep.
And it's up on YouTube. You can just watch it.
Yeah, I don't really have much else to say, but go ahead and give it a watch if you're a Toku fan.
Until next time, I'm ProtoMet.
I'm Tank.
See ya.
Bye.